Hello and welcome to Atomic Facepalm. This is Chris.
And this is Bre.
It's played in full, and this time it's Celeste. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's our first game review of 2018, and what a game to have it for this particular segment. As always, hit subscribe, leave comments, good stuff. Follow us on Twitter. We love all that. Okay, first game of 2018, Celeste. Awesome game.
Yes, I agree.
Very happy that this is our first game we're reviewing because I think last year our first one was not so awesome, but much different this time around. Celeste, little indie game, $20. We played it on Switch. I believe it's also available on PC. Not sure about the other platforms.
I think it is just PC and
okay.
Switch. But.
So yeah, really good stuff. It's a massacre sort of platformer where you die thousands upon thousands of times.
And it keeps track of your deaths and a little counter, which is at first intimidating, but the game kind of lets you know, hey, it's okay. Those are a badge of honor.
Yeah, in this game, it's more, at first we were talking, I was scared of the deaths. I think you were a little bit too.
I was like, I think I posted on Twitter, like, I have to have a world record for the most deaths. And it really wasn't that bad. Yeah,
people die a lot. One thing we want to talk about immediately, so basically, we'll get the gameplay out of the way. It's really basic. They didn't get mired in over complexities or making the game too derivative or weird. You can jump. You can then dash. When you use your dash, your hair turns blue. A nice little touch. Saying,
so then you can kind of tell that you've used your one dash and you've got to land again on solid ground before you can dash again.
Yes, or you can touch a platform or something similar. You can also hold on to the ledges or sides of walls or cliffs for like 3 or 4 seconds.
It depends. It depends on the actual what the surface is made of. So if it's icy, you can't really hold on at all. And
but that's basically it. Now, without going into too many spoilers, eventually you get upgraded a tiny bit. But most of the game, it's that basic set of controls, and then they really get creative. They don't take the lazy way out and just give you, I don't know, different abilities, like, oh, you get a triple jump now, you get invisible for a little bit, or invincible, or something along those lines. No, they take the environment and they kind of tweak it to make you do different things.
Yeah, so it starts off and it's super basic. You're jumping off walls, trying to avoid a pit or trying to avoid spikes, and then they kind of, each level that twists a little bit more, and you get a few more environmental things that you can interact with.
Yeah.
And you can really see how such a basic thing is expanded into a really kind of engaging gameplay.
Yep. Varied stages. It's retro pixel art, but they make it really interesting. The first stage is a ruined city. Eventually, you go through like in the clouds with a windy component. You go through like kind of a haunted manor. There's a lush jungle. Really good stuff.
The mirror temple is really cool. I thought they were all really cool levels. The music's awesome.
The music is amazing. I actually would like to give a little special call out.
Yeah.
They have really just like tracks that stick with you, and just, man, overall, just an amazing score.
Mm-hmm.
Props to, again, this is my theme where I give shout outs and forget who actually did the work.
Maybe
so
Bre will put
random
soundtrack person here.
Good stuff, random soundtrack person.
But not random. They worked really hard.
They probably
deserve
did.
The props.
Yeah. And they actually, there's these little special items you can get throughout the game. So, for example, you can get B-sides to the levels, which make it a lot more difficult for the people who are really into that sort of stuff. And they also change the music around, too, when you do. So there's actually double the amount of music, depending if you want to play those levels or not.
Huh, that's interesting. You know, one of the things actually I really liked about this game is when you go underwater, all of a sudden the music sounds like you're underwater.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's pretty neat.
It's kind of cool.
So despite this game, just honestly, even without a story, it would be a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, so it's definitely an addictive game, and I think that platformers like this are not our style of game.
Nope.
So this is usually a game, I looked at the trailer too, and I was like, it looks interesting, everybody's saying it's really good, but it looks like a game that I wouldn't like.
I was legitimately scared of it.
Yeah, and so I almost didn't get it, but I'm like, man, everybody's talking about it on Twitter, it has to be, I gotta try it.
Yeah, so
and I'm glad I did.
You linked me to a review by Tom Marks for IGN, and he wrote actually a really good review. I recommend reading that too. And he was talking about how, you know, it lovingly breaks your heart to a certain degree. And it's true. It's a really tough game, and you'll go through every emotion imaginable as a player and as you follow the protagonist on screen. You'll be sad, angry, depressed, you know, hopeful, elated. And it's a great little roller coaster of all those things.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably talk about the assist mode.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of this game. We're talking about how we really wish other games, such as Hollow Knight, would have an assist mode where you can kind of intentionally cheat or break the game a little bit.
Yeah, and I really just in general like that in games. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of games have like a hardcore, easy mode, take it easy on me, whatever.
Sure.
Any of those levels of difficulty, because not everybody's at the same level, not everybody's playing with the same, skill deck. It's just, and so this assist mode is amazing. This made this game okay for me. I'll just go right out and say that I played the game with assist mode. I played it at 70% speed, and I don't care.
No, it's not. In this game, it doesn't shame you for that. It doesn't make it so you can't play certain levels, or it doesn't degrade you by making you look like a baby on screen or something, which other games have done. This one just says, hey, if you're not into this sort of thing, great. Turn this on, no worries at all. Turn it on, turn it off whenever you want, and go for it.
Yeah, and it does, when you first turn on assist mode, it's kind of like, hey, you should try this game on, and try it first, and then use assist mode if you really need it, which I did, because I was going to flip my TV over.
But that's like the healthy way to do it. The unhealthy way is the way I did it. So we were talking about this a little bit earlier. We had a Hollow Knight review, which is also on our channel, and that's probably the most commented video we have. So I talked about going through the White Palace, which in that game for me was next to impossible, and I hated it. And everybody in the world was like, "You're terrible at games. It's
get
easy.
Good.
Yeah, get good, Bob." And I was like, "Okay, fine. I'm not that great at these games, I guess." So that being said, I elected to not use assist mode. Was it wise? Probably not.
But I think that it feels good in the end. You know what I mean?
It did feel good. There were moments.
There were moments where you had, but for me, I found that spot where I was like, okay, I can play through this and not just walk away. Because normally these kind of games, I get to a point like an hour or two in, and I'm just like, well, that's it. That's my wall. I'm enjoying the game, but I can't. I can't do it. I'm just I'd freak out and do something stupid. And
yeah, I honestly played Super Meat Boy, which is very much in style with this. And I only got so far because I just couldn't do it. It was impossible for me.
So I looked at Super Meat Boy and I'm like, oh my God, they have the coolest merch for this game. It looks super cute. And I looked at the gameplay and I was like, yeah, no. I didn't even try it because I know myself and I know how I am at these certain types of games. Mm-hmm. So I was really, really appreciative of assist mode. I think more games should have that.
Seriously.
I think games are for people to play and enjoy at whatever skill level they're at, and it's holding this bar about you've got to be at a certain level of gamer, you got to get good. I think is stupid.
I hate that shit. As evidenced by my Hollow Knight review and all the angry comments. So yes, we get it. Not everyone plays the same. This is the perfect game, though. I feel like we can recommend this to everybody because pretty much anyone can just tweak it to however they like. Which honestly, like you said, that's gaming in a nutshell, how it should be.
I think so, but whatever.
Yeah, I think it's this is about a 10, 11 hour game if you're playing through it. I'd say at a normal skill level. Not much of a huge time investment. We are saying it doesn't feel like, it feels like you just fly right through it.
You do, because you're just sometimes you're banging your head against one, little particular screen, and then the next time you just, fly through it.
Because for the most part, when you die, which is very often, you respawn really quickly. You're in a little screen, right? You've got little stuff you got to get through. And so you die, bam, you respawn. That quick. And
I think that's what made this game really something that I liked. I think with Hollow Knight, I was enjoying the game and the gameplay a lot, but I would die, and it's like I'm half the map away at a bench, and now I've got to just get back there. Whereas this, I'm here, I'm there, again. And sometimes literally 100 times before I get through.
Oh, yeah, and that's not hyperbole. I died probably over that many times at one part.
But something about that makes it more addictive because it's like, well, I'm already here. I just spawned. Let's go again. Let me try it. Let me try it. And so I found this game, something that would make me stop is that my hand was all cramped up.
Yeah,
or that I'd sweating.
I was too sweaty. Yeah.
So much I need to just go take a shower.
Yeah, because, again, a lot of people are saying, well, this is like a gateway drug to those harder games. It's pretty hard for me. So I don't want to play those other games for one thing, but yeah, I think it's pretty challenging. There are certain sections, few and far between, but they're there, where it's near the end of a level and they make it really long. So if you die, you spawn all the way back at the start, and those bits were hard. That's where I really was on the edge of tinkering with assist mode. I didn't. Maybe I should have. But yeah, there's a couple of boss battles that go on and on and on. You're like, holy shit, there's no way they're going to make this go on after this. And it does, and it's pretty tough.
But I guess I never felt like this game was unfair. I felt like those longer stretches were fair because they usually you're in a section, you're in the haunted hotel, and you've gone through a screen this size, this size, and now it's like a triple or quadruple size screen that you have to go through a bunch of jumps, and it felt like to get over this hurdle that it's ramping up the challenge.
Yeah, they ease you into it.
They did, and it also felt really good when you finally do get that.
Oh my God, yes.
And I really enjoyed that there's like these little postcards that you send to yourself in between each little stage, and they're kind of like, don't worry about your deaths, use that as kind of a badge of honor, take breaks. And
it's a very uplifting game despite being a very depressing and dreary game.
Yeah.
So we do want to talk about plot, because honestly half the game, if not more, is really just how fantastic the storytelling is and the interactions and the character dialogue. But yeah, I would say I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was going to say. Plot, I guess.
The plot. I think that what's nice about this is like the gameplay and the plot kind of are entwined completely, because for this game, you're overcoming the challenge of getting through the level, and it's the plot of the game is very much her overcoming the challenges of her life, her mental health, whatever. And so you're kind of, while you're feeling frustrated with that particular scene or whatever, it's kind of the game is uplifting to her and kind of saying like, you can do this, for work through towards it. And you have other people telling you that, or there's postcards in between kind of like, hey, try harder. And something about that is infectious to the point where I just kind of was like, I can do this. I can beat this kind of game.
Yeah, and you want to. It's like you want to see where this character goes. And the mountain, to me, the object is to climb to the mountain to get to the peak, but it seems like a pretty apparent metaphor for life, for the complexities and difficulties. Probably most people are watching this video or around the world have depression, self-doubt, anger, all those things that feeling small in a big world and feeling terrible at your job. And all those things that you just want to kind of push to the side and escape and do something good for yourself. But it's not easy. And some of that, and actually early on in the game, a lot of those negative, what most people would see as negative characteristics manifest as another character. At first, it's an antagonist. We won't go into spoilers, but the idea is this person represents stuff like fear and trying to keep you overly safe and doubt. There aren't that many characters, but the ones that are in the game are very good. There's a little guy that kind of you meet now and then. The dialogue, it's really cool. Like they write it out very well, but they don't say anything. It's just like, which was cute, and I liked how they put that in there.
But it's not just always wah 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 when they're upset. It's more like,
it hurts so bad.
And you're like, no, don't be so sad.
So
when she's sad, it's like so sad.
It hurts deeply.
And then when she's super excited, it's like, wah, 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 wah,
yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's not just, they obviously didn't need voice actors. I think that's enough.
Yeah. And again, that's a good point too, where, creativity is where this stuff comes from. It's not just like, put in a couple of voice actors, it'll be fine. They really went above and beyond. They did a lot of stuff in this game. They really pushed that very delicate balance of really hard, but not too hard.
Well, I think
that is tough.
On Twitter I saw it as it's like the nicest mean game, and I feel like that really encompasses what this game is. While it is punishing, then you die and you die and you die, and like seriously, people have thousands of deaths. You just have like what? Over 1,000?
I think I have almost 3,000 deaths now.
3,000 deaths, yeah. So, you really die a lot. You get slapped across the face. But at the same time, it's always like, you can do it, and, that feels good.
It's similar for a guy who's in the military. It's similar to boot camp, but not like that harsh. It's more like like a mental uplifting boot camp, where it breaks you down, but it builds you back up. In this case, you climb back up. And yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about it. The only part that I didn't particularly enjoy, I would say everything was great. A lot of secrets. You can collect strawberries, which don't impact the game any, but there's just nice little tidbits you can do. I didn't like the win component in a certain win level. That drove me a little insane.
And I've seen other people say that. I think it was okay. It wasn't the part that challenged me the most. Yeah. I had more issues with the hotel.
Hotel is tough.
The hotel was tough. I'm stuck on the little hotel part right now, but the win part was okay for me.
Yeah.
I did stop, so we could do this review. I stopped trying to get strawberries, but I have to say that in itself is really interesting just because they do nothing. You collect 100 strawberries, you collect 2 strawberries. It doesn't matter. The game's still beat, but it keeps track of them. And I find that fun. Like I'd see a strawberry and, I'd spend 50 deaths trying to get it.
Sure. It feels damn good.
It does.
It's so good.
You finally get that stupid strawberry, which is over there, and you didn't need to get it because you're supposed to be going that way. And just, I don't know. I really enjoyed those.
Yeah. There's also little trinkets and collectibles you can get. A lot of them are really, really tough. There's little blue hearts, and there's various ways to unlock those. And then, without going into stuff that ruin the game for you, if you collect enough of those hearts, you get a cool little bonus at the end of the game. Again, not required, but just nice little touches like that. They'll keep you going back to it, too, because this is a game you're going to want to go back and play and get to some of the parts you couldn't do to begin with.
Yeah, and that's so when we bought it on the Switch, that was kind of my reasoning, is this is the kind of game that I'm going to want to, like, you know, take places and play for 20 minutes, or this is a game I'm going to want to go back to. So we purchased it on the Switch, which isn't the best controller, but yeah.
Yeah, I would highly recommend one of these. The Xbox One controller is far more responsive, that type of stuff. The gamepad was okay, but there were times in this game where I died. We used the, what's it called?
Pro Controller?
The Pro Controller, right. And I felt like a lot of times I would try and go a certain way, and it just is not very accurate. I go diagonal, and it would kill me. And I was like, that's annoying. But again, you respond so quickly for the most part. Not always a big deal, sometimes.
Yeah, it's not my favorite controller. Actually, a PlayStation 4 controller is my favorite.
That'd be
controller.
ideal.
That is my favorite controller out of any of them. But, you know, I think the benefits of just having it portable, having it whenever you want, just like instantly fire up on your thing is much better than...
Yeah, because we were talking, this is a game where, let's say you're waiting at the airport or you're at a bus stop or something. It's a game you can dive into for like 15, 20 minutes and feel wholly fulfilled.
Except for I would be worried that I'd for one, start swearing like a crazy person, two, make the weirdest faces in the world, and then like when I die a lot, I start kicking. Like I was kicking the couch a lot.
I did the same thing.
Like temper tantruming.
I gotta say though, of all the games we played a a lot of games here on Tom and Facepalm. Beating this game and getting to that damn summit still gives me chills. It brought tears to my eyes.
So I am not quite there. I'm just a little ways back from you. I did see you beat the summit, but I wanted to this is a good day for us to record. So I was like, we'll do it. But that's what I want to do right now is keep going. But my hand is also really cramped because I played for like 2.5 hours before this. Yeah. And it's like, I get like the claw.
I know I'm the same way, and it's probably not ergonomically not the best way to play a game, but it's just so hard to not get tense and be like, oh, I'm so close.
Yeah, and my lips are chapped because I keep like...
Yeah, I grind my lip. So obviously, we really, really enjoy this game. I recommend it to anybody because, again, you can kind of tweak it. Thanks to the awesome assist mode. Developers, for God's sakes, take note. Put this in other games. Please, please, please.
Assist mode, difficulty levels, rebinding your keys. I think those at this point are kind of required for it to be accessible. Yeah. I think games should be accessible to everybody.
Even fucking Darkest Dungeon has like kind of like an assist mode. Not to that, but they have a radium mode. It's like, you know...
but it didn't start out that way, but they did add it in.
They did add it in.
I think that needs to be more of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not at release, sure, but work towards it.
Yeah. So I think before we go into spoilers, because I think spoilers are important for some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about some things.
Yeah. Before we go into that, Bre, would you recommend Celeste, which rhymes with a word that they talk about in Seinfeld?
Yes, I recommend Celeste. And even if you look at the trailer and you're thinking, this isn't a game that I would normally play, or I'm terrible at these games, like, seriously, give it a shot. It's really fun, really addictive, really sweet story. Yeah. I think that was really... It's about the second level that you get into that story mode, and I was like, oh, this game is a little bit more. This definitely has, like, I don't know. The story really pulled me in and made me want to play it.
The gameplay is a little warm on the hook, and then it reels you in with that
the story, and you're like, oh...
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Sadly, I would not recommend not playing it.
Very funny.
Because it's an amazing game. Obviously, yeah. I mean, for $20 for a game that pretty much anyone's going to enjoy, early game of the year contender for me.
For Christ's sake.
I mean, it's early 2018, but it's my game of the year 2018 so far. Technically, the only game I finished in 2018. But yeah, no, it's really good. Go buy it. And now, with that being said, we enter into spoilers. Okay, so as the plot progresses, one of the coolest parts, I thought, was your little antagonist. At first, your little other half of yourself. You eventually fight her. And then, actually before that, I want to say a great plot twist where you get damn near to the top of the mountain, and that bitch knocks you down. And it was the most heartbreaking moment for me. I didn't want to keep playing. I thought they weren't going to let you get to the top of the mountain. I thought it was going to be like one of those life lessons, like, well, sometimes you don't always make it to the top.
Yeah, so around the second level, you look into a mirror and you see kind of a version of yourself, but with red eyes. And then she busts out of the mirror and she starts chasing you. And she kind of haunts you throughout your climb of the mountain, even so much so. At first, I think you think it's inside your head.
Yeah, which is a dream.
You think it's a dream or inside your head. But then you kind of hook up with this guy who's also climbing the mountain. And he's like, he sees it as well eventually. And so then it starts to, you realize that there's something else going on here. And you really are being chased by this kind of demon part of yourself.
Yeah.
And then she eventually knocks you off the mountain and you fall all the way back down. And this is like you're on the 5th level and you're like, holy crap.
You're right there. Right there.
And then the point of the game is kind of to make peace with her and to take care of her. She's part of yourself. So all along you're like, I hate her. I want to run away from her. I want her to go away. And then at some point, to win and beat the game, you've got to kind of come in touch and be like, love yourself. All of it. All the crappy parts. All the good stuff. I just...
Be okay with yourself.
Be okay with yourself. And then that's how together you work and you climb back up the mountain again.
That said, that damn boss segment.
When you are fighting her, it goes on and on on. And I knew that going in because you had done it first and you're like, keeps going and keep going. And even knowing that going in, it keeps going and keeps going.
Yeah,
and you're like, how can this get any harder? How can this get any harder?
It does.
It does.
And then again, they do that nice little thing where it's like right when you're at your breaking point, you're like, I'm not doing another goddamn section to actually finish. You're like, oh, how did they know to stop there?
And it feels so good.
Yeah. And again, then you kind of merge, and that's what we talked about earlier. You get a small power-up where you can now double dash.
Double jump. You get cool pink hair, and instead of, going from brown to blue every time you dash, now it goes from pink to brown to blue because you have 2 dashes.
Which is significant. And also, she kind of helps you now throughout the game. There's these little balls. Jump into them. She shoots you up in the air.
Yeah, she actually gives you a leg up kind of thing where she shoots you.
So nice.
So only by working together with the bad parts of yourself are you able to overcome the mountain and kind of get to the top, which I felt like that was very touching. It was also just maybe something I needed in my life at the moment or something. I don't know. It was
everyone needs that.
Yeah. No.
Like, it's one of those games where it's like, if you're to put together a list, I'm sure they have these on YouTube and on the internet of 5 games every gamer should need to play. This is up there. It's like, this is life, man. It's tough. And this game will make you feel great. It'll make you feel a lot of things. So yeah. And then when you finally do beat it and get to the end, like, oh my God, just it feels amazing. And you actually, do you want me to talk about, because you actually...
No, go ahead for it.
So there's a part in the end where the strawberries don't do anything, but if you collect some, you get to make strawberry pie at the very end of it. And then if you don't collect any, it's just like a pie with no strawberries. They make fun of you. So there's there's little touches like that that are neat too. And then you can kind of see the little pictures and stuff. It's so nice seeing all that stuff at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very rewarding ending, I got to say.
And I really have enjoyed seeing people on Twitter that have actually made strawberry pie in real life. So maybe I'll make some strawberry pie this weekend because strawberry pie is so good.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping to push through the last.
You're almost there.
I know I'm very close, but we wanted to record. So.
Yes. So there you have it. Again, by far the only game for Game of the Year 2018 for me. It's the only game we've reviewed so far.
It is not the only game we've played. We've got.
We've got some more coming up. And,
Iconoclast we've been playing a little bit as well. We've been trying to bounce back and forth. They both came out the same week, so hopefully that'll be coming.
But yeah, it's coming up soon too.
Hopefully that review will be coming up soon, plus a mouse review, and I have a headphone review too.
Yep. So more content incoming, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. And on that note, that is it for us this time. Mm-hmm. We thank you all for watching and listening. It means so much to us. Mm-hmm. Subscribe, comment. Even if you want to call me bad at games, it's totally fine. It's great.
And I use assist mode, so you can definitely call me bad at games. And I don't care.
Until next time, from Chris
and Bre,
good luck.
Have fun.
Celeste.